All right, if you go to your classwork tab at the very bottom of your Google Classroom, you should have two things for today. You should have Unit 1, Lesson 4. You should also have a order of operations, color by number. And I'm going to go over that in just a little bit, okay? The only thing I want you to click on now is Unit 1, Lesson 4. Go ahead and click on that. Told y'all my board is doesn't like me all the time. Let's see, classwork. Go to the classwork tab. All right, in your table of contents, I want you to put 1-4, order of operations, and everyone should be on page 8. Everyone should be on page 8. So in your table of contents, I want you to add today's date, 1-4, order of operations, and we should be on page 8. All right, remember I told you that we would talk about why we need to know this. And I've told you that I don't just pick things out of the air to teach you. It is based on what South Carolina tells me I have to teach you, okay? Remember last week we talked about exponents. And we talked about exponents because we have to use exponents when we're talking about the order of operations, all right? What are exponents? What does it mean if I have 3 to the 3rd power? What does that mean? What do I have to do? What does it mean, Addison? I've got to multiply 3 times. 3 times 3 times 3. What is 3 times 3? 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So we cannot just do 3 times 3. The base tells us the factor. It tells us what we're multiplying. And the exponent tells us how many times we're going to multiply. Now we're going to use that in with our order of operations, all right? Which y'all have done before. So at the very top of your page, in the middle white part right here, this middle part right here, I want you to write your focus statement, 1-4. I can evaluate expressions using the order of operations. What does it mean to evaluate something? Anybody know? Evaluate is just a big word for solve. That's all it means. Evaluate means to solve. It means to get an answer. Okay? All right. I gave everybody a sheet. Oh, let me go over this part. Now, the order of operations. Why do we need to know this? Why is this important to us in our lives? Now, apart from if you've ever been on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat, and they have order of operation problems that they're challenging people to answer, or if you've ever seen those, or if your parents have ever shown you those, you're not typically going to use this in your everyday life. However, it is very, very important that you know how to follow directions, how to follow exactly what the rules say for you to do, okay? So that's why we have to learn the order of operations. It is a very important skill to be able to do things in a specific order. So today, we're going to use our math journal. We're going to use a pencil, and we're going to need internet access. And the three big things we're going to talk about today is numerical expression, simplify, and evaluate. So, if you do not, if you are at home, okay, and you did not have access to printing this paper off, then you could write this on your journal paper. You don't have to print this paper off, okay? But since you have that paper, or what I want you to do, I want you to take 4 pieces of tape and tape it on page 8. Okay? I want you to tape that down on page 8. Yes, ma'am. Okay, let me get you some. All right, what does the word numerical mean? Numbers. What does expression mean? Like, it can be a phrase, okay? It's not a statement, it's more of a phrase. So a numerical expression is going to be a phrase with what? Numbers. Numbers and symbols. Because we might have multiply, divide, add, subtract, exponents, parentheses, all of those things can be included in our numerical expression. So I want you to write that for numerical expression on your paper. So how do we solve a numerical expression? What do we do? So if I have, can I just automatically get an answer here? What am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to what? I'm going to have to do all the steps. So I'm going to have to simplify. If I simplify, that means I make it shorter. I got to follow the steps to make it shorter. Now, what am I going to do first here? Do we know? I got to do the parentheses first. So I'm going to follow steps until I finally get a what? An answer. So we will finally evaluate it or solve it. Get an answer. Okay, that's what that means, to get an answer. So, I have a question. 1 plus 2. Do I need to use the order of operations for that? Mm-mm. No, because I only have what? Just one operation. What if I do this? Do I need to use the order of operations? Yes. Why do I need to use the order of operations? Because there's 2 operations. So, how do we know when to use the order of operations? When we have more than one operation. Who remembers the sentence you learned in Ms. Whitley's classroom? Addison. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I want you to write that beside all of those letters right there. Something about purple elephant. So what does the P stand for? Parentheses. What does the E stand for? Exponent. M. D. Is Addison the only one that knows? A. At. Emily knows. And S. All right, now I have a trick question. Who's ready for that? You ready, Mitch? No? Yes. Yes, Miss Bird, I'm ready. So, multiply and divide. Which one comes first? If I have which one do I do first? Paige.
Either one.
Nope.
Divide.
You divide because you work left to right. You always work left to right. Always work left to right. What about addition and subtraction? Same thing. Always work left to right. You can switch, and we're going to talk about this next week. You can use the commutative property to change the order if you're multiplying or adding, but you cannot with division and subtraction. All right, I'm going to give you just one more minute. All right, after you finish, I want you to write this example on the left. Remember, we always do our notes on the right. We do our examples on the left. So I want you to write this example, parentheses 5 minus 2, close parentheses squared, minus 2 plus 3 times 5. I want you to write that on the left. All right, PEMDAS, what am I going to do first? 5 minus 2. What is 5 minus 2? 3. So I'm going to do this first, and I'm going to write a 3. Then what do I have to do? Bring everything else down. Do not forget the exponent. Am I finished with my parentheses? Yep. What's next? I got to do the exponent. So, 3 squared means what? What do I do for 3 squared? 3 times 3. What is 3 times 3? 9. Now, I'm going to bring everything else down. Do I have any more exponents? Do I have multiplication or division? Yep. Where do I have that? 3 times 5. What is 3 times 5? 15. And bring everything else down. All right, I have addition and I have subtraction. What do I do first? I have to work left to right. So 9 minus 2 is 7. Bring down the rest. 7 plus 15 is 22. Now, I want to show you something. If we had done the addition first, 2 plus 15 is what? 17. We would have had 9 minus 17, which would have given us negative 8. Is that equal? No. So always, always, always work left to right, okay? Because that is not right, okay? All right, I have another one I want you to work. Should be on your screen. Scroll up a little bit. I want you to write it down, and I want you to do the first step. I want you to do the first step. All right, Paige, what are we doing first? The parentheses. What is 7 plus 17? 24. Now what do I have to do? bring everything else down. All right, I want you to do the next step. Parentheses. We don't have any exponents. Do you have exponents? So you need to do that next. All right, Addison, what did you do next? She did the exponents. 2 squared means that we have to do what? 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2? 4. So put a 4 there and do what? Bring everything else down. I want you to check your step. All right, now I want you to do the next step. Use your multiplication chart, y'all. That's a multiplication fact. 6 times what is 24? 4. What is 4 minus 4? We did all that work for nothing. And Addison's the only one that's laughing at my corny joke. Huh? Because you get it. All right. We are going to practice today. All right? So, I have 2 things, and I want to show you the 2 different things, okay? On here, you see we're going to work on this order of operations sheet, and I'm going to give it to you in just a second. We will work a few together. You will work a few. We'll go over them. And then you're going to finish it completely independently, okay? Now, if you were at home, you can access the sheet by clicking on that here button, okay? And it'll come up just like this, all right? Now, since you're here, I'm going to give you the sheet. Now, if you were at home and you didn't have a printer to print this out, could you write this on paper? Yes. All you have to do is copy the problems down. Now, I am also going to show you that when we're completely finished with the paper, you click here to type your answers in, okay? And here, you'll put your name, your email, and y'all, it's got all the problems, okay? You just type your answer in, all right? But let me show you what is neat about this sheet that I've got for you, okay? On the front sheet, you will see the problems, all right? On the back sheet, on the second sheet, is a color sheet. I do not care about your coloring, okay? Y'all, that's like 5K stuff, first grade stuff. I hope you can color, I hope you can color well, but that's not a math skill for us right now, okay? But when we work number 1, if you look over here and our answer's not there, what does that tell you? You're wrong, okay? If your answer is there, what does that tell you? You're most likely right. Now, if you get the same answer twice over here, what does that tell you? One of those has to be wrong, okay? So, I'm going to give everybody one of these, and when I do, I want you to write your name where it says name, and then we're going to start, okay? For the first one, I want you to look and see what do we need to do first. What operation should we do first? All right, what should we do first for the first one? We should do 9 times 7. What is 9 times 7? 64. I'm going to go back here because I'm going to work them up here so you can see. You may need a scratch sheet of paper, okay? And I'll show you when we get down here to the ones that have the exponents, you may want a scratch sheet of paper. There might not be enough room in your box, okay? All right, so 9 times 7 is what? 63. 63 minus 45. You might want to go over to the side and stack it. 3 minus 5, can I do that? So I have to what? I've got to borrow. 13 minus 5 is 8. 5 minus 4 is 1. Now look on your sheet that's got the coloring numbers and see if there's 18. Yes. All right, let's do number 2 together. What are we going to do first for number 2? 28 divided by 4. What is 28 divided by 4? 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. Look and see if the 11's on your color sheet. Okay. Now, I want you to do number 3 by yourself, and we're going to go over it, okay? All right, what do we do first? PEMDAS. Do we have any parentheses? Do we have any exponents? Do we have multiplication or division? Yes, so what do we have to do first? Multiply. Emily, what step are we gonna do first?
You're gonna add 2 plus 3.
Girl,
You're gonna multiply.
I'm gonna multiply. What am I gonna multiply?
5 times
5 times 3. What is 5 times 3?
15.
15. 2 plus 15 is 17. All right, I want you to do number 4. PEMDAS. You got to go down the checklist. Do you have any parentheses? Nope. Do you have any exponents? Nope. Do you have multiplication or division? Then go from there. Remember, you cannot work left to right. You've got to follow the, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. PEMDAS, however you want to remember it. All right, now bring down 21 minus 6. Mitch, what's 18 divided by 3?
6.
6. What is 21 minus 6? 15. Is 15 an answer choice? Yep. All right, I want you to keep working, and I'm going to come around and walk around to make sure that you're doing the steps correctly, okay?